When I was in the second grade, my teacher at the time, Mrs. Grossi, had all of us students gather around her on the floor. There was a nicely dressed man standing beside her. Mrs. Grossi introduced the man to us and explained that he worked for the PBS Kids show, Reading Rainbow, and he was hosting a writing contest. Whoever came up with the best kid story in our age group would have a chance to have our book published and be on TV. The nicely dressed PBS man proceeded to talk more about the contest, but all I heard was like in the Charlie Brown movies. I was already imagining myself holding up my published story surrounded by paparazzi. At this time in my life, I loved reading and writing. After school every day, I would run in my room and begin writing stories in my journal. On that day after class, I began writing. Honestly, I could have picked any story that was already written from that journal. I had to have had over 30 completed stories at the time, but this contest deserved fresh ideas. It deserved my undivided attention, and it would need days of my time. We had a month to complete a writing piece for the contest, but my story was polished and ready to go by week 2. I wrote about a toy store that had a magic spell on it. All of the toys would come to life at night. I couldn't have thought of a more appropriate story. It fit all of the criteria. It had illustrations, a plot, it was easy to read, and kids in my age group would love it. I mean, come on, who in the second grade didn't love toys? Both of my parents also approved, and my mom and dad were know-all geniuses in my second grade mind, so I was bound to win. I could feel it. The day the story was due, I ran to class and turned it in to Mrs. Grossi. Although I wanted her to read the story and tell me I won right then and there, I knew that I had to be patient and wait for Fancy Suit Guy to judge it himself. 2 months later, when I least expected it, Fancy Suit PBS Guy was back and he had her certificate in his hand. My heart was pounding. He began with the Charlie Brown noises again. It felt like the man wouldn't shut up. Come on, just say the name. Please hurry up. I was sweating. My heart was pounding. There were tears in my eyes because I was so excited. I loved books. I loved reading. This is what I was good at. Why won't he just say that I...
Congratulations, Olivia Davis.
I froze. Did he really say my name? I won? Is this a prank? Of course it's not a prank. Why would it be? My story was amazing. Mom and Dad even said, remember? I got up and shook the man's hand. He handed me my certificate and told me I was a national finalist for the contest. I was so happy. That was the best academic moment in my life at the time, and honestly, it still is. In my opinion, knowledge includes any facts, information, or skill set a person has learned or has personally experienced. Most of my knowledge came from my passion for reading and writing when I was younger, like in the Reading Rainbow story. Since I love to write about different topics, I would always do research online, in dictionaries, or in other stories. My teachers also did a good job helping me understand topics that I couldn't figure out myself or haven't heard about previously. I loved going to school and I loved learning new things. It didn't matter what the subject or topic was. If I didn't know what something was, I became intrigued and asked my teachers until I was 100% confident in the subject. If I read a subject or topic first, and then someone verbally explained the concept of it to me, I'd catch on fairly quickly. But I'm not the only one who has this learning style. According to Molly St. Louis, an executive level creative consultant, along with her research team at Inc.com, around 30% of the population is made up of auditory learners. An auditory learner will soak up the information they hear and remember it. 65% of the population is made up of visual learners, who learn best from pictures and graphs. And the other 5% is made up of kinesthetic learners, who need to engage in hands-on activity in order to understand a topic. I guess I would fall in between visual and auditory. I developed a sense of street smarts, if you will, from my parents. They both are very hands-on, resourceful people who are very knowledgeable on different life topics. But I can always learn more, and I would like to do just that. I would love to learn more about life. I want to learn how to fix cars, how to cook and bake better, how to juggle, how to pay my taxes, how to read into politics and political rhetoric. I want to learn about more ways to help others in the meaning of life. There's an infinite number of things you can learn and know about. I personally believe that everything you know and have learned is a form of knowledge, and it is all useful in life, no matter how strange or random the information may appear to be.